Hello. A few people asked me about my art journey, and so I'll focus on my developing stages in digital art starting in 2008 to present. I'll section the stages into three, which is beginner, explore, and present. In the beginner stage, I mainly drew anime, I attempt to draw anime. I couldn't find my old artworks from 2008-2009, so I'm going to start off in 2010. I'm pretty sure there's not much of a difference in those 2 years. I wasn't really good at drawing proportions nor good at coloring. I would draw really big, innocent eyes, and mostly girls. To me, I struggle drawing males, and so drawing girls are like my comfort zone that I stick with. I was basically a frog in a well at that moment. My drawing was quite repetitive, in which I would draw mostly girls in a similar fashion. It's really hard to be creative and original, especially how almost everyone have similar style as you. Another thing that I used to do is that I would focus on making the line arts really neat. Sometimes I would be afraid to color it because of the possibility that I would mess it up. My posture was pretty stiff. For a while, I started to get bored with what I was doing, and I tried to transition that into semi-realism. In the explore stage, I started to break out of my comfort zone and tried new ways of painting. I had a difficult time trying to make the shapes appear neat without line art. The anatomy was also pretty stiff here as well. I would do intense eyeshadow and contour, but as I continued to experiment, I became attracted to this semi-realism painting style. I wanted to get better at it, so I watched how other people paint. There were multiple videos that I watched on YouTube that helped me, either explaining how to use certain tools or some basic information on how to apply shadow or highlight areas, how to draw postures, etc. In the beginning, it was really fun to learn new stuff. It was a change from the usual anime that I used to do, and it felt really nice. But then, I became too serious about it, and that caused me to be self-critical about my artwork. Because of this, I felt like I wasn't as good of an artist compared to others, and that I'll never be able to reach their level. My passion for art started to fade, and my art block got worse. I didn't have the same motivation to bring myself out of it. I started taking long break for almost a year. It was the second term of junior to senior year of high school that I took a break from art. It wasn't until a few months after graduation that I picked back up again. My passion for art wasn't fully restored and I became rusty. This old drawing that I'm repainting right now was made after I came back from a long art block. After multiple attempts, I was still pretty bad at it. Yeah, I kept experimenting and practicing from studies and references until I can be able to draw from my imagination. But sometimes I would use references such as hand anatomy, animal references, such as that one time-lapse video that I did a while ago that has a girl and a lion in it. I also observe how light hits certain objects, and I try to memorize it and render it in my memory to see how it would look like in certain perspective. In the present stage, and to be continued, I definitely improved a lot from when I first started. However, there are still so many things that I have to work on. I'm still pretty weak on anatomy and perspective, and so much more. To become better at it, it does take a while to learn and practice. Don't overly criticize yourself because it can discourage you from continuing to improve. My current style are more free-flowing, but sometimes when I'm motivated, I would do some illustrations. That's all for now. Thank you so much for listening, and the rest will just be me finishing up this painting.